phone was about to die, and so I was like, let me just end this video and make a part 2. So this is my part 2 of spooky regular tales with haunted family members, deceased, having children and getting married, and spirits pretending to be your loved one or your loved friend, and yeah, hunting your house, hunting your life, hunting your sleep. So this is part 2 of spirits and the unknown hunting your loved ones or your loved ones hunting you, and you getting rid of the hunting from one of your family members or friends. So let's get back into the hunting. And this is another video from Rebecca's Journey. Rebecca's Journey is on YouTube. Follow her. She has a lot of spooky tales. She's from Haiti, but she covers a lot of African, Jamaican, and Haitian tales in different parts of these places. But she lives here in upstate New Jersey. And so, yeah, she is American native now. So let's get into the story.
If this is your first time seeing my face, make sure you follow me on TikTok, For better, longer, spooky stories, make sure you guys head over to YouTube, subscribe, and go follow me on Instagram. We are so close to 5,000 followers, just so that I know that it's real. Duh. I love you, my abducted human. I'm your favorite Haitian homegirl. Let's get spooky. Did you know that there are spirits that actually take the form of your loved one that may have passed away to come into your dreams to trick you? You might not want to watch this video at night. Do you believe that you're alone right now? And the spirits that I'm referring to are called trickster spirits. So tricksters, they love to take the face of your loved ones or even your gods to confuse you. Common thing is, after someone passes away, the trickster takes that person's face, body, and everything in likeness, goes into the person closest to that person's dreams, and the trickster, looking like that family member, can then lure that person into their doom. If you let them touch you in your sleep, that will be your sad end. Now, as many of you guys...
Dog, can I sleep in peace without craziness happening to me? So you telling me the person, the entity that looks like my aunt, my sister, is not my aunt, my sister, or my actual passed away mother, some type of entity pretending to be them? What the hell?
May or may not remember, I've told a story about how my mother's spirit was haunting me. The other day, I explained the situation to my auntie. I explained to her the horrible dreams I was having right after my mother's passing. And if you're new here and you haven't seen that story time, long story short, every night after my mother passed away, I would have these very lucid dreams. We would be in this, what I like to call this void. It was like black everywhere with one main source of light. And every night, this person who looks like my mother would come to me and tell me, you're not happy here. I know you're not happy here. I can see that you're not happy here. I've been watching you and I know you're unhappy. It saddens me. Won't you take my hand? Except a lot more emotionally charged and convincing than that. And the one night I was about to take her hand, I reached out for her, but she went further away. So I got up to go after her. But I hadn't realized that in the physical realm, I had actually gotten up out of my bed sleepwalking, and I walked straight into moving traffic while unconscious. My life was saved by a guy who was coming home from work, and that big car missed me by a hair. Now, I officially woke up to a guy holding me and me being outside. For some reason, no, I wasn't confused. I knew what happened. It made sense. While I was sleepwalking, I saw the car. It's like I was in this weird state where I was seeing the physical and the spiritual at the same time, till somebody literally grabbed me and woke me up. As I explained this story to my aunt, she tells me that not only are you not supposed to talk about these things at night, much like a lot of you guys guessed before, that was not my mother's spirit. That was just some other spirit, apparently, trying to end me. So if you have an unalived relative and you dream of them, maybe don't take their hand. If the dreams keep getting scary, pray and we're read to sleep. Thank you guys for listening to this spooky story. I am out of here, but remember, my abducted humans, stay spooky. Do you guys like my spooky smile? Your favorite Haitian homegirl.
Come on, internet. Sorry, I have Metro Pizza crap, and so it be tripping sometimes. Yes, the internet be tripping sometimes. I have Metro PC crap. With Metro PC crap, you don't always get the internet. So here it goes, but it has the freaking commercial now. So let's go past the commercial and let's go.
I am back with another spooky story, and we are still in Ghana. The dead people or ghosts just walking around in Ghana casually is just a little too spooky for me. You might not want to watch this one at night. We're gonna call the person who submitted the story Etsy. This story happened when Etsy was just 8 years old. So a backstory, her uncle was a serious womanizer, okay? Like he had several women. So much so that he had girlfriends from different regions of the country, also different countries, period, including the US, UK, Germany, etc. He got hoes in different area codes. And while all of this is going on, the man was still married, okay? So the uncle, also known as the womanizer, winds up passing away. But a year before he passed away, his aunt actually also passed away. So before the aunt even passed away, everybody already knew that the aunt and the aunt's daughter had issues with the uncle. It was a very tumultuous relationship between the aunt's daughter and the uncle. They did not get along. Boom, the aunt winds up passing away a year before the uncle does. This is all important. Keep that in mind. So this beef was happening and everybody lived in the same house. So at the time, a lot of kids who were in the family who were close would come over and spend, their summer break with them in the house. So fast forward one Friday afternoon, the uncle, also known as the womanizer, says he wanted to take a trip to Togo. He said he wanted to go check something really fast, and at the time he had a bike that could take him to Togo and back in under 4 hours. So he left to Togo and some time goes by and uncle's still not turning up. So now it's actually getting kind of late and there's still no sign of the uncle. He was supposed to be back in like less than 4 hours, so like what happened? Etsy's mom is out here calling him, no answer. His wife is calling him, another aunt is calling him, no answer, y'all. And a little bit later that night, unfortunately, they wind up finding out that the uncle tragically passed away in a motorcycle accident. And apparently he was tossed back and forth by several cars on the highway. This was one of the most used highways in Ghana, so it was like quite a lot of cars. After he's been rolled around like a hot potato on top of all these cars, some way, somehow, he miraculously got up and stood on his feet. Despite having all of his bones broken, this man got up and stood on his feet. But unfortunately, he didn't survive as he died a little while after he was sent to the hospital. So uncle passed, boom. Now here's the tea. Fast forward to the day of his funeral. The kids start to notice that there's a lot of extremely beautiful ladies literally coming into the house. And all of those pretty ladies were looking for no other than the uncle. So Etsy's mother and aunt, who really had the issue with the uncle, they would just walk these ladies into the room where the uncle was laid, basically show them a corpse, and these ladies would just be crying. They were so hysterical. Upon seeing his body, these women were fainting, crying, hysterical. So much so that Etsy's mom and auntie had to prepare taxis for any other women that might just come around and be too hysterical to take themselves home. So boom, it's his funeral, and all these beautiful women are literally coming in randomly and just asking to see him. And when they came in, they weren't necessarily dressed for a funeral either. They came to see that man. And to their surprise, the man is dead. Here's the creepy part. So even after the funeral, the ladies never really stopped coming around. And it would be different ladies every time. Even up until his 1-year death anniversary, women were still coming around asking for him. Each time these women come, they were let down with, he's dead. And without failure, every time they find out that this man is dead, they would have this like reaction and they would just go ballistic. So much so that it started becoming sad and kind of funny to Exy. So the real tea is, come to find out, after the man died, he went around inviting his girlfriends to come over to have a good time. If you know what I'm trying to put down. So all these women were stopping by either by his funeral or even like a year later because they were literally seeing him and he was inviting them to come over to the crib to come get some. So all these girls is coming over there ultimately to get by a ghost. So Etsy goes on to say, not to mention the night before the funeral when his body was brought home and something very strange happened. While Uncle was alive, unless he was angry, he never called any of the kids by their real names. But this night, he whispered each and every single person that were staying in that house's actual name. He did not leave a single stone unturned. He was whistling people's name, and the creepiest thing that ended up happening was, during all this haunting of people hearing their names being whispered in the house and all, there was a car that was parked at the compound. Well, the car drove itself to the police station. Like, the car got tired of being parked in the compound and decided to go for a drive to the police station. No, this is not a dream. This actually happened to somebody. So when people retrieved the car from the police station, they interpreted the action like the corpse was looking for justice. So they sought out to find out, how he unalived. Yes, it was a motorcycle accident, but was there more to it? Well, y'all, come to find out, y'all, the cause of his death. Y'all remember the aunt that died a year before him that just did not like him? Well, before she unalived, she, left something behind. She did something to that uncle before she passed away that resulted in the uncle passing away literally.
Well, you cheat. So your husband get killed by the wife, the kids kill the wife, the aunt tries to kill the niece for a piece of land. Things are more important than family and life, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly a year after the aunt had. And come to find out, this whole time, the aunt was a witch. There was nothing they could do physically since there was no physical evidence. So I guess that cleared up the mystery. The aunt was responsible for the uncle. So these families just out here unaliving each other. That's wild. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching the story. I thought we were going to leave Ghana by now, but I ended up getting so many submissions from Ghana. And these stories are kind of good, so I'm going to tell them. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And make sure you follow me on Instagram just so that I know that it's real. Duh. And I do love y'all from your favorite Haitian homegirl.
Oh, YouTube and their commercials. I'm not paying for it. Okay, let's go.
Ask and you shall receive. I am back with another spooky story. This is a 2-in-1, and apparently the dead just be walking around in Ghana. People can see them and interact with them. You definitely don't want to watch this one at night. For the first story, we're going to call the person who submitted the story Trish. She said this is a ghost story from a close friend, but she also witnessed it too, so she can testify. So Trish and her friend, we're going to call her Hertz. They've known each other for a very long time as they've been going to the same church since birth. This story happened when they were just about 9 years old. One day they had a new member at the children's service. We're gonna name her Nayla. Even as children, they could tell that there was something different about Nayla because she looked weird. Once again, I'm just reading. Trish said Down syndrome, kind of weird looking, peeling skin, and she also acted weird too. Well, Trish's mom ended up telling her that Nayla was a sickle cell patient, but they accepted her because it's church. Plus, upon all her conditions, she was very funny and very lovable as well. So from what Trish can remember, Nayla told Trish's mother that she lived with her auntie at the time because her mother had passed away. Her dad unfortunately abandoned her, so now she is staying with her aunt. But the aunt and the relatives were very abusive towards Nayla. Used to maltreat her, deprive her of food. They would deny her of her basic needs. Even church, Nayla oftentimes had to sneak out to go to church. And one day out of nowhere, Nayla just stops coming to church. But they don't make a really big deal out of it because it was normal due to her background. At the time, they were all kids, right? There was this one boy, particularly Andy, that used to live next door to Nayla. So after months of not seeing Nayla, they wind up telling Andy if he could go check up on her because he lives right next door. And mind you, at that point, it's been 3 months since they've seen her. So now, Andy was also a rascal. So he didn't enjoy coming to church like that. So even though they told him to, check up on Nayla, he did, but he didn't come back to church for like months after the fact. So he did check up on Nayla, but he didn't go back to church to, give anybody the feedback for like months after the fact. So one day, Trish's mother is there making the register on Sunday that Andy happens to come back to church after months. At this point, it's been months, and even Andy's back at church, so what the fuck happened to Nayla? So now everybody's concerned. But y'all remember Trish's friend, Hertz, right? The same one that she been going to church with since forever. Yeah, Hertz told her that she had met with Nayla within that week, and she was fine. Nayla had even escorted her to go buy some food. They chatted and even shared biscuits that Nayla had bought. So Hertz is telling Trish's mom that she shouldn't worry and that Nayla is just fine. I was just with her. Like, we was chilling, chopping it up like it's all good. Andy, the next door neighbor, listening to all of this, he looks very confused. It's been months since he's been in church, so he's assuming that everyone knows. So Andy listening to her, it's like, bro, you good? None of what you're saying right now is even possible, because that same Nayla that Hertz had claimed to hang out with that same week had died 3 months ago, and her corpse was about to be buried. Needless to say, Hertz was traumatized for weeks. Okay, story number 2, also from Ghana. So there was this woman who sold spicy fried plantains, also known as kelewele, if I'm pronouncing that right. So she used to sell them at night, which is a popular street food in Ghana. Her kelewele was the most delicious street food in all of Obuasi, a town in the Ashanti region in Ghana. One day, a visitor came to town to visit someone, and they had to buy from this particular kelewele vendor because, again, she had the best. But when the visitor saw the vendor, this visitor knew that woman selling the kelewele, so she called her by her name. Frantically, the woman selling the kelewele just like excuses herself and runs to the bathroom, and she was never seen again after that. Not in the bathroom, not anywhere near town, nowhere. The visitor then told the story of how the woman had died while she was giving birth to her baby from her village. The person who submitted the story says that these things happen a lot amongst them, and they do not have the answers for it. She also says that she hears stories of how people reincarnate in other towns or countries, get married, and had kids after they died. They find a way to bring back whatever kids they have to the family, and then they vanish. Because we're leaving Ghana after this video, here's a bonus one. This girl was walking around with her mother, and her mother spotted this lady. So her mother called the lady's name. The lady turned around and kind of kept walking. If anything, she started speeding up like she's just walking. Her being with her mother, watching her mother trying to get this lady's attention who's walking away, she decides to take off after the lady so she can get the lady's attention to tell her, hey, my mother's trying to talk to you. So she goes after the lady, and the lady is walking really fast. The lady literally gets on the bus, and she sees the lady and follows suit. She gets on the bus. Once she gets inside of the bus, the lady she was just chasing disappeared. She just vanished into thin air. And at that point, mind you, her mother was following her too. So her mother gets onto the bus, and of course, no lady here. So her mother actually explains to her that the reason why she was calling out this person's name, the reason why she was calling out her name was because that lady was actually her classmate from like middle school. And that she had died in middle school. So what happened? What is this? And well, her mother proceeded on getting sick, and well, she had to go to a witch doctor, well, a herbalist, and she was given certain things to drink and things to bathe in. And after 7 days of drinking the concoction and taking baths, mother fully recovered. Wow, thank you guys so much, Ghana. You guys have some amazing stories. Definitely spooky. And I know some of y'all didn't listen to me and definitely watched this at night. This is your first time seeing my face, or you've seen me before.
Yeah, it gets real out here. Yeah, so that's why we're showing these videos to let you know what's going on out here. So when you see someone going through something or see weird stuff happening to someone, you be like, what is going on? Shoot, I had some Cinnabon earlier at the mall. I'm still at the mall. But anyway, shoot, yes, you see something weird, you see a person acting out, you see a person, you know, just having their head down and just have like this eerie feeling of like they can't get out of something. There are weird things that's going on out here that you may not be privy to when you just look at a person, you know. Who knows, their mom might have been dead and the spirit is haunting them, or they feel that the spirit is not passed on, so they have to do something to help the spirit pass on. And it's their freaking life, it's your freaking life, but they still have to worry about other people's souls to get them to go different places because they wasn't living right and they was into some dark stuff, and you don't even know until after the person passed away. Like the aunt and the uncle. The aunt killed the uncle years ago, and they had no idea that the aunt killed the uncle, and she was a witch. Probably for how long, but she was the family member, and nobody knew in the family that she did these dark things, and he did these dark things that would jeopardize their life. in their last passage on to the other land. And so, yeah, it's crazy. Come on, internet. Come on, Metro. I need you to do this. Oh my gosh, where is it? Okay, I think this is the one. That's not the one. Okay. One last story for you guys, and I'm gonna get out of here for part two. Part two, I'm about to get out of here. One last story for you guys, and we'll be done with part two of the supernatural family member / friend edition. So I'm waiting for Metro to get it together slowly but surely. Getting it together so I can finish this video for you guys. And you can see what's going on, you know, with Disney, with the probably passing of my mom years ago, and what your parents that passed away is probably dealing with. You like, they were dead? What the hell? So it's not just me. Other people are giving their own accounts of different stories of their parents or what have you.
Because of the affordability, the flexibility, and but eventually.
But yeah, different people are giving their stories about their parents or what have you into dark magic. Supposedly passed already, but they had them and their brother. You're like, what the hell? How you pass and you're not living, but you gave birth to me and you gave birth to my brother and my other sister. Relatives, your aunt that you haven't even met, plotting against you, doing dark stuff on you, and a girl that's some type of succubus that, you know, weird stuff going on to her, and she befriended you to pass down some evil stuff to you and have weird stuff happen to you, and you didn't even do nothing to this woman. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about going to school and jealousy, and this girl did some dark magic on her roommate just because she was happy, and she didn't want to see other people, the other girl, happy. And so that's another realm. You may not have done nothing to the person, you may not have been mean to them or what have you, but they're just so dark that they will want to dim your light and do dark magic on you and have bad stuff happen to you, because they're in the dark and they're in a bad place in their life. So we're gonna get into that. This last story.
They left. She dared to have a close family.
So yeah, it's crazy out here that these people are just crazy, and people just do stuff for no reason, and it's just what it is.
That loved her and stuff. Like how dare she? Fast forward, Mel.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
You know how they say it be your own man's? It be your own man's. A spooky story time.
Oh man.
This is a story submission. I don't know if she wants to be anonymous or not, but we'll call her Mal, and she's from Trinidad. So this story takes place in 2023 when Mal graduated and went on to a university. So backstory. Her family is Christian and was born and raised in the church. Once she got to the university, it was cool for the most part. She had her own dorm to herself. She wasn't in anyone's way. She was just going to class, coming back, and doing her thing. When she first got her dorm, her being a devoted Christian, she used to pray all over her room. Every single day, wake up, pray, pray, pray. And everything was going great. It was normal until she got a roommate. So the roommate comes in, and the first thing the roommate does is criticize her on how excited she is to meet her. However, Mal is just a charismatic person. The girl was like, yeah, girl, I don't like all that. And Mal was like, okay, all right, and just basically moved on with her day. Didn't think too much of it. And when I tell you, based on this story, this girl was weird. Like, whenever Mal would have her boyfriend, like, you know, her little ting-ting at the dorm, this girl would just storm out. For what? And, like, not only was she storming out, making a scene, but she was storming out to go tell the RA, like, you gonna snitch? The situations escalated so much between Mal and her roommate that they almost fought. He was ready to put the paws on her. So fast forward, the roommate ended up opening up to Mal about her past. And this girl had a troubled past. He opened up to her about her mom and where she's from, and yes, the other girl is Caribbean, but so is Mal. As they talking, opening up, kikiing, politicking, roommates gets a little too comfortable and opens up to Mal and tells her that if they had fought, she was going to unalive her. Because it's multiple nights that she watches her while she's sleeping.
Here's the money glitch that's getting.
Oh my God, come on YouTube. Y'all have a lot of money. Why do I need to mess up my video?
Watches her while she's sleeping. So as this girl is speaking on and on, just revealing all the secrets, it dawns on Mal, it's not just this girl inside this body. As a matter of fact, she might have other entities inside of her. She's had multiple dreams about this girl doing sexual things to her. And you know what they say about those dreams. So like Mom mentioned earlier, her and her family were close and they were also very loving. However, her roommate came from the opposite. She came from foster care, and I guess she really envied Mal in how loving and just open and authentic that she could just be in life. And on top of that, she dared to have a close family that loved her and stuff. Like how dare she? Fast forward, Mal's entire life starts going downhill. And I mean like down. After her and her roommate became cool, she lost all her other friends. All the friends that she made in college, she lost all of them. All that work, and what did it get me? What did I do with? And also, this girl had an issue with everybody else. Mal is just chilling, trying to give this girl a chance because she genuinely believes that she's just misunderstood. Mal at this point was always arguing with her man to the point where they winded up breaking up. Her family went totally downhill. And yes, everybody in that family is Christian. It is held together by prayer, and Jesus. So how can this be? Mal just lost energy. She got lazy out of nowhere and just stopped going to class. So much so that she winded up getting kicked out of college. So one day, this girl invites Mal over to go meet her mother. Now, Mal said that she's been to her house before, but this time she felt something particularly weird. She felt a presence on her mom. And because she feels this presence on the mom, I guess she's kind of like acting a little bit suspicious. The mom being suspicious that she's suspicious, the mom is like, She threw her foster daughter under the bus by asking, Mal, did your roommate ever tell you that she's working black magic on you? The girl trying to cut her mother off is like, no, mommy, no, I didn't tell her, no. Then it's like a switch happens because suddenly the mom gets really angry. Her voice is different. And she just starts casting a spell on Mal. And Mal, being horrified, just starts to pray. And she's just profusely just praying to God. Thank God nothing works because she was able to get up and leave. And as she's leaving, freaking Mal is yelling out to her like, I'm so sorry, like, I'm sorry, please. Try. But in the end, she would learn that her life was deeply in hell because her roommate and her mother were working witchcraft on her. Sometimes just being too jolly in life will get you fucked up. That's why you gotta be protected. Anyway.
Yep, I had to learn the hard way, Jenny. Rebecca, I had to learn the hard way. Rebecca.
She ended up going to her family. They went to church, and this is all still happening right now in her life, she says. For some reason, Mal saw her roommate one more time after that whole incident in her crib. For some reason, she didn't tell me why. She said till this day, the old roommate still reaches out to her, but now she just does not reply because she's still dealing with the repercussions from her life being in literal hell. Thank you for listening. If you are new here on my channel, we are so close.
So yeah, you don't have to do nothing to anyone. You could just be born and put in crazy positions. Like your parent could be already dead. Your parent could be worshiping the devil and they die and stuff is on you. Your parent about to go to hell, so they need you to help them in this life to go to the next. You could be going to school and you get a witch as a roommate. It's so many things that can happen, and so now you know. So keep prayed up and put on some protection, the whole armor and some more protection, because these people are weird and crazy out here and you don't have to do nothing to them. So Thank you for coming in to the Shantavia Chronicles part 2 of this video. And so yes, please like and share and subscribe, and if you can, hit the notification bell. All right, happy Monday and free Diddy, because there's more sinister stuff going on out here. So yes.